Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's Sunday, July 21st, and this will be my fifth attempt at getting you this video out bright and early. I had light coming in the one time. I messed up, didn't have my computer set up right the other time. So trying to get this out to you as quickly as possible, but going to have to keep it short because I do have a steam room that we're going to have today at 1 p.m. Eastern. And anyone that jumped on board, you should have access. Make sure you join me there. I want to thank those of you that join me here on YouTube each day as we do a short version of the steam room, kind of give a little taste of what goes on in there as we go over detailed results. Each week in the steam room, I go over how we're running in the short term, how we're running for the season, meaning the year, how we're running long-term since we launched, since the last 365. Like, we go over detailed results. I'm there to answer all questions for my subscribers, help them manage their risk as efficiently as possible, make sure that their results reflect mine or even better, and I make sure I meet with them each and every week so that I remain accountable for whether I win or lose. I'm jumping in there each week. My subscribers get to ask any questions they want and have me help them get the most out of their subscription. In fact, when football comes, I'm probably going to bump it up to 2 times a week when possible, because there'll be multiple sports going on. And I just want to make sure the subscribers are able to take advantage, especially since that's the busiest time. I usually have the most people, and I like to share a lot of the education in the steam room where it's not just picks, even though we do go over the games pretty much one by one on an NFL Sunday. So with that out of the way, we're coming off a huge Saturday, especially in MMA, where we crushed the UFC card, going, I believe, 9-2 on the package that Wager Talk sold for me. We hit our 5% play. I think we swept our 4% plays, just demolished it. I ended up crushing all the accounts that I bet with. I even hit them up with a parlay. I would have really destroyed them. Had that first fight of the night, the Usman and Peterson fight, gone under the total, meaning they finished inside the distance, I would have hit them for a 40 dime parlay. Yeah, they would have got busted open for a 40 dime parlay. Maybe it's better I didn't. Since it was a local book, maybe it would have been easier for them to tell me to go myself than pay me. But with that said, going to keep it quick. So let me dive right in and get you some baseball winners if possible before I get to a question or two. And then it's off to more work before diving into the steam room. Let's see what I could get you. Let's see what I could put you on for today. All right. I want to put you on Seattle, Houston, 973, because I went over 7 early in the morning. We went over 7. And then another group came in and hit over 7.5. So I upgraded it to a 4% play, but the 7s were all gone. It was 7.5 across the screen. So I added 1% at 7.5. I'm never going to cheat my subscribers and just upgrade the 3% to 4% if the play number isn't available. So what I did is we have 3% at over 7, 1% at over 7.5. Keep in mind, those of you that have been following me a while know I do not bet 3% of my bankroll on any play. My risk of ruin, I keep at 20%, where I'm going to double my bank 8 out of 10 times and lose it 2 out of 10 times. So we're betting 0.25% of that, not percentages. Because you're betting 3, 4, 5% of your bankroll per play, your risk of ruin's upwards of 90+%. The picks won't even matter. Like, your risk of ruin will eat you alive, where you're going to lose your bankroll over 9 out of 10 times and double it less than 1 out of 10 times. When you're stacked the odds against you that much, you're betting from such a position of weakness. There's just no chance. So best advice I can give you is watch some of the past mornings where we broke down in detail the best blueprint that I've come up with that's allowed us to turn a profit 8 of the last 9 years and overcome any negative variance. And if it's worked for me, it'll work for you. Now, let's see. What else can I give you? I gave you Seattle, Houston over. I'm going to give you one more. I think I'm going to give you this one that we're going to fire. This was a great day. All right, I'm going to give you guys this one here too. Another 4% play for you. So 2 4% plays, follow, fade, or ignore. Again, I'm just sharing information. We don't bet 4%. We bet 0.25 of that. So that's 1%. The most we ever bet is 1.25% of bankroll. And that's on a 5% like yesterday's bet. And I hope those of you that piggyback that will not go to distance also read that I went under 2.5, under 3.5, and under 4.5. Now, I didn't make them premium plays because I didn't want that much exposure and to put people in a position where they may hurt themselves. I have to try to protect the bettors as well. But my subscribers know when I add something like that to the pick, there's a reason for it. I'm betting it. And if I'm betting it, you may want to have some risk on it as well. So I hope everyone went under 2.5, under 3.5, under 4.5, and that it will not go to distance. That was some damage there. So let's go. Let's go. No, I'm not sorry, just not going to release it yet because I saw one line moved against me a little bit in Major League in the total that I was looking at. Now I'll share it with you. Haven't released as a premium play, and that's the White Sox KC over. But I'm seeing some resistance against me, and I talked about it in yesterday's video about what's been going on, where the lines early numbers are being dummied up for the real side to come in later. Now, this can fall under that category. And if it does, then this may be an even bigger bet than what I have in mind. That's why I'm holding off. But if it isn't, we may not even be on it. But I'm just sharing it. If you like it, do what you want with it. If you disagree with it, it's on you again. So we'll just go with Seattle, Houston over, see if we could end the week with a winner. Again, I've only given about probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 or 7 baseball plays today. So, give a nice 4%. Got the biggest play so far. See what happens. With that said, let's get to some of these questions. And again, I'll be in that Steam room in about an hour from now. Wow. Okay. So let's get this going. All right. Let's see. All right. Got to get my man smashing and sharing daily. That's my man, Neil. Yes, sir. Wager Talk let me know. They graded it as a loser. You, sir, reminded them that we push. I know. I'll use that word. I know when to buy points. I know what each half point is worth in every sport that I'm buying a half point. And the only time we're ever buying is when we're either getting what the half point is worth, meaning if we're laying minus 120, it's worth at least minus 120, or we buy a half a point when we're getting the best of it, where we only have to lay an extra 10 cents. So we're laying minus 120, but we should be laying minus 122. And I'll always add that into the pick with the subscription. So you guys know to buy that half a point and you're really still getting the best of it. So thank you for notifying them. All right. Now, the question is, you always say you could share some great gambling stories. I'm sure you have tons. Why don't you? Everyone loves a great gambling. Tell story time with Ace. It takes long. Neil, I will do that. I'm actually going to put a post-it for you. I'm going to write a little post-it. So tomorrow we'll have the gambling story. I promise you, Neil. I have tons of them, but you know me, I go off when I tell a story or if I rant, and I promised I had to keep this one short. So let's see. Any other questions? Any other? All right. Bailey Davis 9977. Gianni, what's the Steam room and how do I join? I think if you just subscribe to anything of mine, they give you access. Like if you buy, I think that weekend or that day, whatever you get for that week, don't quote me on that. Please go to Wager Talk and email their support. Guys that sign up for the year, obviously they get to join the Steam room each time I'm in there. I'm in there like at least once a week. And what we go over is, as I was explained, we go over our short-term and long-term results. We go over our blueprint on managing risk correctly. We go over the different risks of ruin and how many units you need for each. And then we go into breaking down some games more in detail. Like in the NFL, I start from the top and go through every game, even share some of the handicap that I'm looking at, some of the market reads, and I'm able to educate when going through the plays, breaking down the games. So yeah, I love doing that in the steam room. But the most important thing is I'm accountable, meaning the subscriber doesn't just, they buy a 3 months or 6 months, a year, and that's it. They never hear from you. All they do is get an email with your picks. No. I got to be accountable. Someone's going to trust me with their hard-earned money and then bet on top of my suggestions or piggyback my own bets. Then I need to be accountable and show up and answer some questions. I think that's a must. So that's what it's all about. Chad Davis, Ace, you were asking what to do for more views, maybe breaking down a few games instead of just giving picks. Yeah, that just I love the idea. It educates. The problem is it takes time. It takes time, or else I'd just be cherry picking. I would just give 2 or 3 trends that support my side and ignore anything that doesn't. That's like most handicappers do when they write an analysis. I've been in the industry a really long time. I've watched how a lot work. They get the pick and then they go and they find the data that supports it. Nothing wrong with that. But it's a waste of time. I would rather go over exactly what I'm looking for. What kind of line moves I look for confirmation. What are the groups betting? And then some of the data that I actually pay attention to, some of those metrics that I think matter, some that are more predictive than others. I'd love to do that. Again, that takes time. That's what the steam room's for. And if you've been in it last season during football or even now, we go into, I think a couple weeks ago, I went into game by game in baseball, wanted to just share some of that insight. So that's the only problem. That takes a lot more time. And I understand if I want to build the views on YouTube, that's probably what I need to do on YouTube. So it's that catch-22. I'll find a happy medium, but I do think that's a decent idea, Chad. I do. I don't really have anything else. So it's going to do it for today. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the games, and hopefully that Seattle-Houston goes over. Hopefully we get 8+ runs. Guys, have a great day. Enjoy that Sunday, and I'll see you in the steam room in an hour.